7.95.60. Val's Regard getting fourth. Okay, now the runners. There's the mighty Specula heading to the start for the running of the Grand National Hurdle over the 4,000. $6 Amalfi Interest. Okay, so that's the market there. And there's the top 8, Specula, Sale of Century to second elect, and then Amalfi Interest at $6 with Alabar and Family Favourite given chances too.
Engaged today, and they're all in now. 14 hurdles, 4,000 metres. And they're off in the Tui's new Grand National. Monagila jumping well with Liston. Sale of Century out the back in the early stages. Amalfi Interest jump well. And Specula running about 6th as he leaps the first hurdle. And as they settle into stride, Family Favourite with Amalfi Interest, who look to be pulling early, is going up to join him. And Risky Venture and Alabar are there as well as they settle into stride now. And the Risky Venture goes to the lead ahead of Alabar. Amalfi Interest back in third placing. And they were trailed by Family Favourite. Further back is Millennium Dancer, a length and a half Super Cobra, as they go by the 1200 the first time round and over the next in the field. Super Cobra is followed by Sale of Century, and then 2 lengths to the favourite Specula. He's followed by Liston. Towards the end, Fra Magic and Monagila, who made a bad mistake at the previous hurdle, is 3 lengths away. Alabar setting a pretty solid tempo, coming along towards the next jump, and he put in a monster of a leap too. He lands by about 6 lengths. Family Favourite is second on the inside of Risky Venture. Millennium Dancer is fourth on the outside of Amalfi Interest, and then a length and a half to Super Cobra. 1 Sale of Century, Liston, and they're trailed then by Specula, who's third from last on the rails, being followed by Fra Magic, and Monagila is last of all as the Grand National field turns into the straight the first time. And the leader is Alabar for Willie Harnett, 7 times placed in the race, and Willie on Alabar, the leader from Family Favourite, who came away from the rails and is moving up on the outside, and the saddle might have moved on Family Favourite. The rider looks a little inconvenienced. About 8 lengths away then in third placing is Risky Venture as they come to the middle of a treble down the straight. Leader clipping it there, Alabar. Millennium Dancer is next outside Risky Venture, and then Sale of Century getting a nice cart into the race with a bit of cover. He's on the outside of Amalfi Interest as these 2 leaders come down towards the 7th hurdle in the race now. Back midfield is Super Cobra, and he's being followed Fra Magic. Specula would be over 20 lengths from the leader with a lap left to go, and he's over on the rails, and 3 lengths last as Monagila. Alabar the leader. He'd been tested by Family Favourite as they leave the straight, and they put on 8 lengths to the third horse, Millennium Dancer, outside Risky Venture. Sale of Century running 5th on the outside of Amalfi Interest, and they're followed Super Cobra, Liston, Specula on the inside of Fra Magic, and back last is Monagila still. Alabar is the leader, coming along to the first on the riverside. He's about 3/4 clear. It's Alabar from Family Favourite. Millennium Dancer closed that gap to about a length in third placing, and then Risky Venture. Sale of Century within 3 lengths of the leader. Liston outside Amalfi Interest, and they're followed by Super Cobra, 2 lengths to Fra Magic, and then Specula, who's now second last on the rail, 9 lengths from the leader as the field has packed a little, and Monagila's last of all. 1,500 left to go over the next one, and Alabar cleared it by about a length and a half to Family Favourite, Risky Venture and Millennium Dancer. Then Sale of Century about 4 lengths away from the leader from Amalfi Interest on the rail. Then Liston, Super Cobra peels out to start a run. Specula still well back and buried on the rail from Fra Magic, and last of all is Monagila. 1,200 left to go, and Alabar is the leader over the next hurdle in front of Family Favourite second. In third placing, Risky Venture on the inside of Millennium Dancer. Amalfi Interest working home steadily along the inside as they're packing. Sale of Century taking off for the run, and they're followed by Super Cobra and Liston. Specula is searching for runs everywhere, but he's still boxed up on the fence coming towards the turn, and then Fra Magic and Monagila. 800 left to go. They've got 2 to get over, and Alabar put on a burst before the turn, and for Willie Harnett, he's kicked out by about 3 lengths now, and he's going for home. It's Alabar with a monster lead coming around the turn now from in second placing Millennium Dancer. Now Specula's got into the clear, and he's coming with his run into the straight. Alabar the leader for Willie Harnett. He's looking left and right where Specula 5 lengths away and closing, and Liston pulls to the outside, and further back is Amalfi Interest. If Alabar went over the second last one with a good lead, he's about 3 lengths. In second placing is Specula. Here's the last one coming up now for Alabar. At the last, over it he goes, 2 lengths in front. Specula with his big weighters trying hard, and then Fra Magic. Alabar the leader. He's drifting out. Specula's starting to peg him back. Alabar's very tired. Specula's getting to him in the last little bit. Alabar and Specula wide apart. They come to the line. Photo finish. Alabar and Specula very close. Fra Magic has run third, and back behind these to finish is Leston, followed further back then at the head of the others was Super Cobra, Risky Venture, Millennium Dancer, Amalfi Interest, Family Favourite, Monagila. Sail of Century's been pulled up. Photo finish in the Grand National Hurdle. Alabar on the outside and Specula. Great photo finish in the Tui's new Grand National Hurdle. And Alabar on the outside has clung to the lead and won it. Number two, Alabar is the winner. Number one is second, Specula. And the third number about to be semaphore. It's 2. Alabar the winner. At last a victory for Willie Harnett. Specula conceding 6.5 kilos to him. Tried desperately hard. But Alabar has clung to a slender margin on the post, and Fra Magic will be third, number 7, as we await that number to come into the frame.
Thank you, Greg. Great call. And, well, we've had 2 4,000-metre jump races, a steeple and the Grand National Hurdle. We've had a half a head in the finish. And Alabar, after Specula headed him, has come back to win. Willie Harnett, a bold ride. Specula, terrific performance with that huge weight. And Fra Magic getting third. So weight can stop the Southern, what do you call it? The everything. Okay, King's Coup at 4:30 there at Ipswich. Hialeah Star at
home over the top of them.
13.50, no problem, mate.
Well, that's the only thing, Larry, I'm worried about is the 13.50 at this stage. He's he's only a 2-year-old, and you're sort of going blind.
I'd like to have drawn a bit closer in. We'll have to deal with that when we bounce out of the gates. But a horse in good form, a nice second to Bellis last start. That'll bring him along in condition, and he should run well as well.
Send me away. Off now. La Pesh from the outside alley, away quickly, but she'll drift back, and going up quickly, Sacred Hills and Zara Banks and Jessie, and Star of Gibraltar shooting up on the inside will lead. Rosmarino's in hot pursuit and settling down now. Rosmarino narrowly, Star of Gibraltar. St Jessie deep third, then Zanzara Bank, 2 lengths Template Sacred Hill, followed by La Pesh Jamra and 3 lengths Vittorisk. At the 750 and Star of Gibraltar and Rosmarino level pegging. Star of Gibraltar now neck in front of Rosmarino to St Jessie. Zanzara Bank over on her quarters and the inside rail. A length and a half to Sacred Hill around Template. Wada La Pesh, Jamra second last, and 3 or 4 lengths Vittorisk. This is the order as they round the corner, and Star of Gibraltar about a neck or so on Rosmarino. A couple Zanzara Banks and Jessie, Template Sacred Hill, and then La Pesh is making heavy weather of it at the moment from Jamra and Vittorisk. There are plenty of chances here at the 200. Star of Gibraltar grabbed by Sacred Hill, and Sacred Hill raced away on the outside. St Jessie and then Zanzara Bank, but Sacred Hill as Beedman goes for her, and the visitor is careering away, and Sacred Hill wins it from St Jessie and Zanzara Bank, and then Jamra followed by La Pesh, Star of Gibraltar, Vittorisk and Template, and walking home last was Rosmarino. The winner is Sacred Hill, number 7, ridden by Darren Beedman for Peter Moody. Pete at Caulfield, and puts the polish on this Lang Fur filly from many owners. She's out of a Masque mare, Tanaquil, and 890 and 250. Sacred Hill proving much too good in 1:12.31. Rosmarino dropped right out of it. There were umpteen chances at the 250. Star of Gibraltar showed speed, but it, like Rosmarino, cut at each other, and there was little left at the end. And it was simply Sacred Hill a mile too good as we are awaiting all numbers. And here they come, 7, 1, 9 and 2. 7 Sacred Hill, Darren Beedman first. Only a matter of time before he eclipses Larry Cassidy's Sydney riding record for a season. Number 1, second, St Jessie. Kerry Jordan's got her racing very well, hasn't she, by Jet Bull, Georgie Scamone. And third goes to number 9, and that was Zanzara Bank. She's been racing consistently, trained by Steve Hood.
Thanks, Ian. Yep, Sacred Hill, St Jessie, Zanzara Bank and Jamra, and that first 4 will pay $4,278.10 on 7, 1, 9 and 2.
Look, I can accept that. It's a little bit under the tote at the moment, but there is a lot of chances. The best backed horse has been number 10, Storm Attack, again representing
of the VRC Winter Championship. Set to go. Off now at the 1400 metres, and Filatimo jumped out fast, and El Nino got a good break. Away quickly too in the early stages. Greek Adonis drives up to sit second, and they're trailed closely in the field by Ruben, who's fourth. A length and a half, Polaire, Juggernaut and Green Pick in that bunch, and one further back is Say Magic, and then Acetate, Zadimbi wide from Woodweena. Next is Pompous, Little Dozer, and back behind them Storm Attack, The Big Ask, and Malou last by the 1,000, where Filatimo can't cross. Greek Adonis retains the rails 3/4 of a length away, and two to Ruben third, and then El Nino. Polaire wide out next on the course, being followed then by Green Pick and then Juggernaut. One further back is Zadimbi, deep around the outside of Acetate. Woodweena, Say Magic, ridden along on the inside, and then Pompous, Little Dozer, The Big Ask, followed by Storm Attack and Malou. Coming around the turn, and Filatimo had the lead narrowly from Greek Adonis on the rails when they swing. Third is Ruben on the outside, and then El Nino. Green Pick in clear galloping room, coming with his run down the outside, and then Juggernaut, and they've got away to Little Dozer and Woodweena. Passing the 400 metres, Filatimo being joined by Ruben. Greek Adonis fighting strongly on the rail, and then El Nino producing a run, and Green Pick is next from Juggernaut. It's Ruben, Greek Adonis, El Nino closing, Little Dozer with a run, and Pompous is sweeping down the outside. El Nino, Ruben with Little Dozer, El Nino and Little Dozer. Little Dozer's going home the best, and Little Dozer wins it from El Nino. Juggernaut flashes up to make a photo for that second position actually, and then Pompous, Green Pick, The Big Ask, closely followed in the field then by, back behind those was Ruben over on the inside, and then Woodweena, Greek Adonis, followed by Green Pick and Filatimo, Polaire, Acetate, Say Magic, Zadimbi, Malou, and the Storm Attack back towards the tail. Little Dozer has got home here. Number 9, ridden by Stephen Baster, trained by Shane Fleetner. 9 the winner, about a half a length to a long neck on the line over El Nino and Juggernaut. Numbers are 9, 2 and 14. 9, 2 and 14.
9, 2, 14, and we need a fourth number, and we'll get that in a moment after the running of race 5 there at Flemington. And he loves the track there, Little Dozer. And Rahira at 10, as is Dane Borough. And further down, you've got 13 Viscay Star and Wonder Blue, who won well last start at $6.30. They are parading.
Handicap duty secretary at Nyngan for 33 years. Ready now. They're racing, and one of the best to break the line, Rahira. Ulsi Jester hit the ground running. Viscay Star and Azam Valley moving up very, very quickly. And who is going to lead? Viscay Star narrowly from Azam Valley. Rahira at third, then Wonder Blue, followed by Real Silence around to Sea Jester, and then Full On Magic Danebra. And behind those horses next, Johnny Reb improving as Real Silence starts to drift back. A couple of lengths to Garden Scene, and the last pair, the stablemates Factional and Hollow. They race onto the first corner at the 1100, and Azam Valley is the leader. A length and 3/4 or so on Viscay Star, with Wonder Blue ahead away on the outside. 2 lengths to Johnny Reb keeping company with Rahira, then Full On Magic. Danebra's around Sea Jester, then Garden Scene, Hollow. Real Silence back to second last, and a length further back in the field is Factional. They come along the side of the track and leave the 800 pole behind them, and Johnny Reb, he's done nothing more than move forward. And Johnny Reb, race 2.5, Azam Valley, Wonder Blue, Full On Magic, Viscay Star. A length and a half to Rahira. Then comes on the inside Sea Jester from Danebra. Garden Scene, 2 Real Silence, Factional, and Hollow's last as they round the corner. And Johnny Reb is the leader and setting sail for home. Johnny Reb, 2.5, Viscay Star. Wonder Blue, followed by Garden Scene, wider out. Azam Valley's dropped off. Sea Jester's under the whip. Garden Scene is letting rip now, is coming after Johnny Reb very quickly. Oh, Garden Scene quickly swept past Johnny Reb and is all over a winner from Viscay Star, and then comes down the outside Danebra, but Garden Scene trounces them. Garden Scene beat Johnny Reb, Danebra or Viscay Star for third, then Full On Magic, Wonder Blue, Factional with Hollow, and then Sea Jester, Rahira, Azam Valley, and Real Silence went shockingly and finished Absolute. Garden Scene has been able to win here, and win with a leg in the air, by Scenic from Tulip Time. Isn't it a pretty name for a mare? Garden Scene. Trained by the top South Coast Mentor, Bede Murray, and has quite a few owners. Garden Scene, Glenn Boss aboard, and that's a double for Glenn. He won on Stormbuster. And fresh from 3 on Thursday at Gosford. Waiting on all numbers after race number 6 here. Garden Scene had run 5th at Nara in the Nara Cup on the 22nd of April start before this, so freshened up, and she really did race well, didn't she, that way? 9, 1, 8 and 11. Garden Scene, Glen Boss first. Number 1 is second. That is Johnny Reb, written by Huey Bowman, by Naturalism, trained by Tim Martin. Number 8 is third, and that is Daneborough by Dane Hill. I tell you what, he's getting close to a win. Third run back. Watch out for him over 2,000 metres. Written by Corey Brown, and number 11 was the official fourth, and that was Viscay Star. 9, 1, 8, 11, and the margins are 3.5 a length. 138.25, 35.10 the sectional.
Yeah, now at Flemington, they are starting to get set for the 6th event. Evil Master is the favourite at 370. A break, and back with more on Sky.
Lights flash. 1700, they're off and racing. And Evil Master a little slow. Correa's got away well. So did In Costa Legend in the early stages. Elephant Rock is booting through to retain a position on the rails, but it's Nutcracker going for the lead in the early stages and putting on a bit of pace too. And Nutcracker leads by a length and a half or two. Correas has to be satisfied with second. And Costa Legend is holding third, and Halfpenny Bridge is a half away fourth, and 2 to Elephant Rock. 3 lengths further back is Circumnavigating. Another 3 lengths away to hit the spot, Evil Master. And Burley last of all. Nutcracker is setting a pretty solid tempo. 1,100 metres to go. Out 2.5, Correas is second, and Costa Legend is third. Fourth on the outside is Halfpenny Bridge, and 2 lengths further back in the field is Elephant Rock. Another 2.5 or 3 to Circumnavigating, and then came Burley Evil Master and hit the spotters back last of all. They're coming up towards the turn. 8.50 left to go, and the leader Nutcracker by 3/4. Correas is second, and Costa Legend is third. Halfpenny Bridge fourth the outside, and then Elephant Rock, and they're followed by Burley the Rail. Then Circumnavigating about 8 or 9 from the leader, coming around the turn from Hit the Spot, and Evil Master back last on the outside. 5.50 left to go, and Nutcracker the leader. Correas in second, placing as they swing, and then Halfpenny Bridge followed in Costa Legend. Elephant Rock in behind them. Burley getting up on the rails, and they're trailed by Circumnavigating. Evil Master the widest and Hit the Spot. Nutcracker the leader. 3.50 to go. Correas under the whip, and Elephant Rock is joining in. Burley waits on a run. Evil Master sweeps down the outside at the 200. Elephant Rock put his head in front. Evil Master is still running on down the outside. Elephant Rock in front. Evil Master, every stride he gets closer. Evil Master gets to Elephant Rock, and a double for Baster. Evil Master beats Elephant Rock. Burley third, Hit the Spot fourth, and back behind them in Costa Legend, trailed by Nutcracker. Correas put zip into his finish, followed by Halfpenny Bridge and Circumnavigating last of all. Evil Master coming from last with a strong, well-timed run under his 58 kilos to win. Number 1, Evil Master, Steve Baster first. Second will go to 8, Elephant Rock, Stephen Vella, and third to Burley, number 4, Darren Gauci. 4.20, 180 to winner, 6.70 second, and 2.20 the third place dividend. Favourites getting rolled left, right and centre here today. Evil Master taking the race out. A double for Steve Baster. This horse loves a little sting out of the ground. He needs his run absolutely perfectly placed, and otherwise if he gets there too soon he'll pull up and wait for them. But it was a perfectly timed run by Stephen, coming from last, and he's hit the line strongly to win.
All right, thanks, Greg. Yeah, he rides him well, Steve Baster. Is the key to Evil Master, and again, a very, very good win. 184. We need a fourth number there. Next, 1902 238 238.